What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon, and it's been a little while since we had a Seahawk video because it's been a little while since much of anything happened, but few things starting to pile up here. A few things actually went down today or will be going down tomorrow, so let's run it down real quick. Let's just briefly talk about some of the things that have happened with this team. It's nothing truly moving, but it is the stuff that is happening, and we're going to lead off with a signing here. And normally I wouldn't make a video or even really talk about a signing like this, but this is kind of notable because this is a player that most people have heard of before. It's not like we just signed some random UDFA that people are largely unfamiliar with. No, we actually signed a little bit of a name player. We signed Robbie Chosen, also known as Robbie Anderson or Chosen Anderson. He's been through a few different names in his career, but right now I think his name is Robbie Chosen, wide receiver, formerly of the Panthers and the Dolphins, off the top of my head. And he's coming to the end of his career, and we're giving him a shot at minicamp. So to be clear, we're not signing him, we're not giving him any money, we're not giving him a contract. We're just giving him the opportunity to do something at minicamp. Now, Robbie Anderson just turned 31, and he's a few years removed from having a notable season in this league. You can look down and see that last year he had 4 catches. The year before he had 20. He had 53 in 2021. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty reasonable. But the year before that was his 1,100-yard season, and other than that, he's been relatively quiet in his career. He was a pretty good member of the Jets for a while there, I guess, but he is far removed from being a particularly good football player. So this is definitely a kick the tires type of situation. This might be a situation where we're looking at it as, well, we're going to have him in for minicamp, see how he looks, then we're going to let him go. And if people get hurt during the regular season, then we can give him a call and we can pull him in here because we will have looked at him and we know what he can do. And if we like what we see, maybe we'll do that. So I find it interesting that the Seahawks are choosing to kick the tires on veteran receivers this offseason because to me, if I'm a veteran receiver, I don't really want to try to catch on with the Seahawks. I want to go to a team with bad receivers, with receivers who you can actually bump off the roster. Like the Seahawks right now, you've got Metcalf, you've got Lockett, you've got JSN, you got Bobo. So you've got a collection of guys fighting over one, maybe 2 spots right now. And that's not much. So you've got Shenault, Laviska Shenault. Of course, he was the first veteran receiver that we've taken a look at this offseason. And then you've got, sorry about that, guys. My phone just rang. Had to answer it real quick there. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that some of these veteran receivers that are just trying to stick around in this league are coming to Seattle where there's not as much of an opportunity. You probably are looking at a situation where you're just hoping to be put on call if we have receivers get hurt during the season. Because you're also competing with Eskridge, who's still here. You've got Derek Young still here. You've even got a guy like Hayden Hatton. And I understand that every team in the league has guys like Hayden Hatton who are just, well, maybe they can kind of sort of be something in this league. But the point is, you'd rather be competing with those guys for roster spots than you would be for practice squad spots. And that's kind of what you're doing if you're here right now, it feels like. At that position anyway. So I don't really know what Robbie Chosen's chances are of making this team. I have to believe they're pretty close to 0. Maybe he would stick around for the practice squad, but I don't know why we would want to have somebody like Robbie Chosen on the practice squad when he's an older player, clearly past his prime. I will say that he is a viable deep threat. He does offer some serious value as a deep threat, and I think he still has that. But again, I don't really know if that's going to be enough to get him on the roster over someone who's actually young. Like, if you had to ask who you'd rather have as the 5th receiver, if the choices were Hayden Hatton or Robbie Chosen, I'd probably rather have Hayden Hatton. I don't think either of them will make it as the 5th receiver, of course, but just as a hypothetical. And that's a guy who's done nothing in the NFL at all. All right, so that's the main news for today. We're kicking the tires on another veteran. And again, it's just the main thing that I take away from this is not the receiver room you want to try to crack if you're a veteran just trying to cling on to the league right now. There are teams out there with some pretty bad receivers. Maybe go to Tennessee or something. You'll probably have a better chance there. Couple other things worth noting right now would be the 3-day minicamp. The mandatory Seahawks minicamp is tomorrow. So one thing to watch for is who shows up. If anybody's dissatisfied with their current contractual situation or doesn't like it here, we're going to find out tomorrow, because if they're not here, then something is up in all likelihood. So going to be worth monitoring for that. And we should be getting some good things from the beat reporters and the media, because they will be, all of these minicamp days are going to be open to the media. So we're going to learn some stuff as well as this week goes on. So I will be making some videos over the next couple days with whatever gets passed through the beat reporter circle. So keep an eye out for that. Should be interesting, should be fun. We also officially got the signing of PJ Walker today. And the kind of other side of that was, well, who are we going to waive? Because the roster was full. Buda Jones. Buda Jones has been waived to make room for PJ Walker. Free agent, undrafted defensive tackle, Buda Jones. Now, Buda Jones apparently got hurt during an OTA session in May, and there wasn't really a lot heard about him after he got hurt. He wasn't at the last OTAs that were open to the media. So this might be a situation where we release him, he clears waivers, and then he just goes on our IR list and misses the season with an injury. That way he gets to hang around a NFL team for the season. I think he gets paid something in that circumstance. And we get to keep him around and hope that he gets healthy next year. So probably not going anywhere. And I know that there was some excitement around Buda Jones because he had actually impressed during the rookie minicamp. But yep, PJ Walker's now officially on board per Condota. And final little announcement, also, this is from a Condota as well. The August 3rd Football Fest is being held at Lumen Field, and it is believed that Football Fest will include the Seahawks mock game, and the mock game has been pretty compelling over the last couple of years. I've made videos about what has been passed through X at the mock game. I've never been. That would be interesting to go to a Seahawks mock game. It's relatively cheap. It's $12 for a ticket, and parking's just $20. So that might actually be kind of interesting to do, to actually go to the mock game for the Seahawks. But yeah, going to take place August 3rd, which I think is a roughly typical time for the mock game. Usually it's a little before the preseason starts. And that's basically all we got right now. So yeah, big news today, and big news being relative. Robbie Chosen is getting a shot as a Seahawk. I doubt he sticks around, but maybe he does enough to impress another team, or maybe he does enough to impress us, so we put him on speed dial during the season. All right, let me know what you guys think. If anything, I know it's pretty meager, but it's something. See you guys later. Go Hawks.